Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Real Fit Pros. It's your boy, Jonathan Loudermilk, your host with the most. And before we kick off today's episode, I need you to do all the things that I ask you to do every episode. So if it's your new episode, congratulations. You get to hear this for the first time. What I need you to do, I need you to like, I need you to subscribe. Shoot, you could even leave us a 5-star review. Helps us get this message out in front of more fit pros so that we can help them get paid what they're worth. And we make sure we show up every single week to bring the goods for you guys. So we would greatly appreciate if you could help us get this message out to just a few more people today that need to hear that. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it off to my main man, Mark, and we're going to kick off the show. What's up, Mark?
Oh yeah. What's up? Hey, it like finally cooled off in Texas. That's what's up. Holy Lord. So, I'm not the fastest or the strongest, but I'm also not the smartest. And a couple days ago, I decided I was going to go cover 4 miles outside during the middle of the day. I didn't really bother to look what the temperature was. And I'm out there. I'm like, it is fucking hot out here. Why is it so hot? And I look down at my watch. It's 99 degrees. I'm like, I'm an idiot. Sorry. Anyway. Oh my God. But then this morning I had a like a hoodie on. Crazy.
It's because there's no mountains here, man. That's my theory. No mountains. Just kind of rolls through. Every day is different,
Yep. Different seasons every 4 hours or so. It's
awesome. Well, absolutely. Well, what we're going to get into this episode for y'all tuning in, we're going to be talking about social media, right? How to wrangle in that beast and command it to your will to help you go get what you're worth. So before we get into dropping some valuable insights and some tips on, what me and Mark have learned with this whole social media game is Mark's got a damn good story that involves social media that he'd like to share with you.
Yeah. So I think this kind of, in my opinion, this kind of sums up what we're trying to do with social media. And, John, you've said it before. It's like you have to kind of view it as a TV show. And your personal social media is your TV show. So you're there to entertain people. You're there to make people laugh. You're there to enlighten people. So whatever it is that is you, that's what you're trying to showcase through social media. And when you do that the right way, the right attention comes to you and the right audience comes to you. And we'll get into, really knowing your audience. So this was probably last week, maybe the week before. I have my Make America Fit Again Facebook group, and I drop tips and stuff in there, but it's a lot of memes and shenanigans and fun stuff. And, that's my personality. I like making people laugh. I like entertaining people. That's part of my core values. So my audience knows that, and they share things in that group that they may not share anywhere else, but they feel comfortable sharing it with that audience. So I see that I'm tagged, and I open up the page and I see the post, and it's a post that's showing a picture of these energy drinks on a shelf at a store. And, normally that wouldn't be that big of a deal, but the name of the energy drinks is Pussy. Yep. That is legit the name for the energy drink is Pussy. It's 100% natural ingredients.
It's organic.
It's organic, right? And here's what's really funny. A lot of people missed it. I missed it the first time. So the sign on the grocery store shelf said 2 for 1 or 1 for 69 pounds. Right? So we all have a good laugh at it. And then I decided to share it on my own personal Facebook page, and more people get a good laugh out of it. Well, this morning in the gym, one of my clients walks in and hands me one.
That's awesome.
Hey, there's nothing like getting handed pussy at 5 a.m.
I know, right? Man. What was that like?
So
I'm married, by the way.
So am I, by the way.
Yeah.
But what's great about that other than the hilarity of it, what's great about that whole entire story is it was all about a connection with my audience. It was my audience feeling comfortable to share something like that with me, knowing that I'm going to laugh at it. And then a client of mine knowing me well enough to be like, okay, this is really going to be funny, and walks in and hands me one. So the whole thing is it's so authentic. And it really is a microcosm of what we're trying to do with social media. We're just trying to connect with our people and get them to resonate with the things that we do. And again, because humor and entertainment is such a huge part of my business and me personally, I have been able to draw in the right type of people to bring that into my ecosystem and flourish with it. So that kind of leads us into the rest of this. So we'll take it from here.
Yeah, man. Well, what's funny
So
is you did that with you still do it with Cadbury eggs. I still think of you because of Cadbury eggs. Whenever I see Cadbury eggs,
yep.
It's the same thing. And now you have an energy drink underneath your brand now too. Yeah, man. So let's kick into it, man. So we got a little bit of a delay on the podcast, by the way. So there's some awkward moments of silence. That's what's going on. But what we really want to share with you guys today is, really the path to social media, because the truth is there's a lot we're still figuring out with social media. I don't believe that we've figured out and mastered this thing yet, but there are definitely some principles that, success leaves clues that, we've seen a lot of business owners use in their industries. And obviously Mark and I have used it for ours, and we've helped a lot of coaches with, tailoring this into the fitness side. So, but the first thing you have to start with is not focusing on how many times you post and what do you post. That comes, but it's what Mark said about getting really, really clear on your ideal client. And, with that being said, Mark, if you want to kind of share, the process you've gone through to get that clarity, I think that'd be great. And then I'm happy to chime in too and share some things that we do inside Fit Pro Collective and things like that.
Yeah, the knowing your audience part is really the key, because if you're putting a message out that doesn't resonate with the people that you're trying to attract to your business, then you're never going to get them. If your business is to train busy moms that, their schedule's hectic and they're just trying to squeeze in a little bit of exercise and they don't feel confident about themselves, but you're a 24-year-old male and you're showing your abs all damn day, you're never going to talk to those people. They don't resonate with that message. So, the process I went through was, at some point, I really just had to look up. And again, I was already in my career, but I didn't know who my ideal client really was. So I just took a snapshot of like, who am I training? What are the similarities of these people? And when I really sat down and gave it some honest thought, there were 2 or 3 things that all of my clients had in common. And I took those 2 or 3 things and just ran with it. So everything I began to do and say and preach and speak upon was to those people. Like, I don't train kids. So I'm not talking about getting your kid ready for baseball season. Like our buddy Jerry does that. He's a strength and conditioning coach for student athletes. That's his thing. That ain't mine. I don't train busy moms. I mean, if I happen to get a busy mom, that's fine. But that's not my audience. I don't necessarily train like a rehab population like our friend Nancy does. That's her audience. So I am speaking to a specific type of person that I want to draw into my business. And that clarity has truly allowed my business to flourish. But it makes understanding what I'm actually posting way easier. Because John, we hear it all the time. Like, well, what am I supposed to post? What do I write about?
Right.
Every time we talk about this, that's the feedback we get, not just from our coaches, like the people in our Apex group, like literally anybody who's not consistently posting on social media goes, what am I supposed to post about?
Right. And it's like, you're asking the wrong question at this point in time. Right. So, something I'll piggyback on you, and that's great advice to look at the collective whole. One of the things that I've done that really helped me was I started handpicking my dream clients. And these are people that I'd already gotten going, okay, how do I extract your DNA, put you in the lab and clone the shit out of you? Because I want like 100 more of you at least. Yep. Right. And that's doing something called a client profile, where it's essentially a series of questions you ask them that was going to help draw out all that pertinent information, and all you're doing is taking that, and that's going to be your blueprint on who you're talking to from a social media aspect, all the way down to how you design your business, to how it operates and who it serves. If you need help with that, I've got free access to that in the training. You can snag that at thesmartshark.com/smart-marketing. I'll drop the link in the show notes, but I have a whole training that will literally give you the form and train you how to use that, so that you can get clear on who you're looking for online. Now, once they get clear on that, Mark, what would you say the next steps would be? Going, okay, cool, I'm clear on who I'm looking for. Now, what do I do?
I think it can be twofold. So if you're already coaching people, it's worth going and having a conversation with those people. And I think one of the easiest ways to get good, honest feedback is the video testimony that we teach our clients to do, because our coaching clients, because when you go to your clients and ask them, hey, why did you choose me? And what is it that I provide for you? And what's the change that you've seen since you started working with me? And then the crucial question is, if somebody asks you about me, what would you tell them? And that feedback that I've gotten when I ask my own training clients, hey, if someone was asking about my services, what would you tell them about me? That tells me everything I need to know. And it often reveals things that you didn't even realize about yourself. And I think I've probably mentioned this before. Like, I don't necessarily consider myself super empathetic, but most of my clients have mentioned like how I met them where they are. I push them appropriately. I don't judge. I understand what they're going through. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe I am empathetic, which is a great quality to have when you're coaching.
Right.
So, I think there's that. And then really just understanding, okay, well, where are these people? And as you mentioned, that Dream 25, identifying people who you want to work with. Because there's this, I see it more as we kind of level up in life, this manifestation thing. And, I used to make fun of my wife for doing it until I saw it happen over and over and over again. I'm like, okay, sorry, babe, I'll quit making fun of you. I'll just go with it. But there is something to be said about the subconscious putting that message out and going, hey, I want to work with this type of person. I want to work with high performing individuals. I want to work with C-level people, or I want to work with postpartum moms, or I want to work with student athletes that are, college bound. Because you begin to, it seems like it's magical, but you begin to find the words to say. Mm-hmm. And when you know that audience, it makes it so much easier, because that's the people that you enjoy talking to anyway. And it doesn't feel forced. It feels genuine, because people see through that bullshit all day long. Right. So when your words are genuine and people know, oh, you really do resonate with me because you're a business owner and you have kids and you're married and your life is kind of hectic and you get it, then it's really easy to talk about. When you're talking about shit you don't know about, you never get anywhere with that.
Right. Well, I think you bring up a good point, man. It's serving on the level that you're on. Right. And we talked about this in one of the other episodes that we've done is, a lot of times we go out there and when we first start, we think we're going to work with like professional athletes. Right. And it's like, no, you're getting Mrs. Jones who hasn't exercised in 10, 15 years, and you're starting off on like assisted squats on the TRX. You're doing basic ass shit with them, right? That's the bulk of the people you end up getting when you start out. But setting that intention and getting clear on who you're looking for is going to help you find the right platform, which goes into my next point is one. I don't know about you, Mark, but I get this question all the time is like, what platform should I be on? I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook. I'm like, how much money are you making? They're like, not enough. I'm like, well, the first problem with that is you've got one bucket filled with your time, right? And now you've got 5 buckets that you have to disperse that time around. Well, the problem is if you're on all these channels, you're only filling up each bucket a couple inches deep, and it's not deep enough to actually get any results with it, right? So when you actually get rid of all the buckets that don't matter and you pick one bucket and you put all your time into it, you're going to get to the goal a lot faster that way, because you're actually putting real intention and consistent effort into one thing. So whatever that audience is for you, a platform, then pick one that you're going to commit to. And then that's where you focus on building. And as you grow on that platform, I promise you, you'll get opportunities to then move on to the next one and the next one, so on and so forth. And that's where you get to decide, do I want to keep doing this myself, or do I want to hire someone to do it for me, which is a great position to be in.
Yeah. And you have to have consistency with whatever one you're using. Otherwise, no one will ever see it. So much of this goes back to your core values. I enjoy the relational aspect of training my clients. I enjoy getting to know them, talking to them about things that are not fitness related. So I chose Facebook. I went all in on Facebook because on Facebook, you can have a legit conversation with people. Whereas Instagram isn't really set up that way. Things disappear, the feeds are weird. Like, you don't really get notified when the thread keeps going. Whereas like my wife, who's a hairdresser, she went all in on Instagram because it's very visual, and hairdressers are very visual people. So she understood, okay, well, my audience is there. So she went all in on there and she flourishes there. So it really is just, you just have to pick one, but you kind of have to know like your demographics a little bit. Like, I train people who are around my age. So people, 35 to 55 years old. Well, those people are mostly on Facebook. Younger people are on Instagram.
All the boomers, all the old guys, all the boomers are on Facebook.
Okay, boomer, which is totally fine because I'm there too, baby.
Hey, I know, I'm 36, man. I'm in your bracket. I was like, fuck, he's right. But yeah, so it's picking that platform. And then here's the next question. How many times do I post? What do I post? Look, here's the deal. You got to get in where you fit in. And if you have this all or nothing attitude, you're never going to get there. It's the same thing with the client that's like, well, if I can't afford to train with you 5 times a week, I might as well not do it at all, which we all know is just ridiculous, right? It's like, it's better to start with something. So, but your whole goal as you do this is, I want to share a principle with you more so than what I call tools and tactics, which, by the way, if you go to that website I told you earlier, I've got training on that you'll get access to. But in terms of principles, what Mark was talking about with the TV show, what I really focus on is the 80-20 rule. 80% of your content should be focused on engaging people, entertaining, and adding value, right? And once again, this is for your ideal client. This isn't for everyone. Right? This is for the exact person that you've gotten focused and who you're looking for. And as you're doing this, you're starting to build the bonding process, which is that know, like, and trust, where you can put a photo up of Pussy Energy drinks and they're like, hey, I'm going to send you one, right? Because he's built the relationship, right? Because 80% is that stuff. Well, what that allows you to do with the 20% is you actually get to talk about your business. Because here's the biggest mistake that I know me and Mark see. Coaches either don't talk about their business at all because they're fucking terrified of rejection, or they talk about their business all the fucking time and people don't want to hear that shit anymore.
Yep.
It's the sweet spot, right? It's the yin and the yang with this. But the more that you give in that 80, the more you earn the right to do the 20%, where you can do a pitch, you can do an offer, you can do a branding post. But the whole point is it with that ratio between those two, it's not going to piss your audience off, because people have no problem with you talking about your business as long as you are adding value first, which that value could be fitness tips all the way down to, here's a funny meme, I want to make you laugh today. That is a form of value. So if you're doing the right kind of work, I promise you, you're not going to have people having an issue with you talking about your business.
Yeah. And, that goes back to the basic principle of know, like, and trust. So people know you, like you, and trust you. They want to see you successful. Like, the right people want to see you win. Yeah. So again, you're basically earning your permission to talk about your business. And over time, you become the one that they look to for that advice. So if you got a friend that is a CPA or a real estate agent or whatever it may be, and you constantly see them entertaining you, adding value, sharing tips, telling you what the market's doing, when it's time that you need that person, you're going to go to them first.
Right.
They'll be the first one you contact. Oh, I need to contact Brandon because I need to sell my home. And I know he does that, but he's a cool dude. And, he seems like somebody that I'd like to do business with.
Right. And this is how like you actually have an advantage over, the big time guys doing, $10,000-$20,000 in Facebook ads every day with their free ebook or their 14-day trial of their fat body burner program or whatever. Because think about it, if the person has to choose between a stranger or you, which one are they going to pick? They're going to pick you, right? So this is where the organic wins in the long game, but you got to do the work with it. Everybody wants to pay someone and click a button and their business soars, which I'm not telling you not to run paid ads or that's not a good place for you. It's different for everyone, but don't use that as an excuse to not do the work as you go through this. Because if you build your machine the right way, this is how, you're growing year over year. And this is where you can look a year or two down the road and go, damn, my life is totally fucking different because I made one intentional decision when I started doing this.
Yeah. And don't negate the fact that people need human connection. Yeah. And even though it may be online, people want to feel connected to others because we're more connected than we've ever been, and we're more disconnected than we've ever been. Mm-hmm. So when you provide that human element to something that's very personal to most people, their health and fitness, then you're right. I mean, you have a huge advantage over $9.99 memberships and free ebooks that you're never going to look at, and you just download and then people email you forever and you never do anything with that either. So, utilize that humanness to your advantage.
Absolutely. So the key is tying all this stuff together, but there's phases with this. So once again, go to smartshark.com/smart-marketing. I've got free trainings that literally walk you through everything we talked about and a little bit more. So if you like to snag that, just go to the website, put in your contact information. I'll get you added to the training portal. We'll get you hooked up with that.
Yeah, I would say that's probably, I mean, we could talk about social media for hours.
Oh, dude, we've done 2-hour workshops, and that was more so because I talk a fucking lot, but it was 2 hours. I remember that first one we did, dude, where so we did our first boot camp. Honestly, it was last August we did this, right? And it was the first one that I've done with you. So we're still kind of feeling out like, how do you work and how do we flow and all that stuff? But I'll be honest, I was nervous as shit. So I talked a fucking lot in that one. And I was supposed to talk for 20 minutes. I looked up and it was an hour later and I had like 8 text messages from Mark telling me to shut up. So, so I had to pass it back to him. Hopefully gratefully everyone was like enjoying the content and hanging out and we were vibing. But man, I had no idea. I had literally ranted for an hour straight.
It's so good. It's so good. Hey, that's what happens when you're passionate about stuff, you know?
Yeah. It's, this is the path to freedom. I don't care if you have a brick and mortar. I don't care if you're online. Doesn't matter. The world is going in this direction. The question is, what part of the wave do you want to be on? The front, the middle, or all the way in the back end of that bitch being the last fucking person to get on board? I promise you don't want to be that person.
Yeah. And I'll say one more thing too. I hear a lot of fear from people of they're worried what people are going to think. They're worried they're going to get judged. They're worried about posting the wrong thing. Guess what?
It's going to happen.
You're going to be judged.
You'll be judged and you will have shitty posts.
But you're going to be judged regardless. Like whether you do something or not, whether you show up or not, whether you post something political or not political, or your mask or no mask, or vaccine or no vaccine, or like somebody somewhere is judging you.
Yep.
So you might as well just be you and draw the right people into you. Yep. That's it.
I see it as if I'm going to get rejected, I might as well do it on my terms. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great mindset.
Yeah. If I'm going to get told mindset. No, or I don't like you, or fuck off, like at least I'm being me. But for every person that does that, what's that?
It's just, it just provides a buffer that, you don't end up with clients that you can't stand.
Right.
People that you're like, oh my God.
Dude, and that's where it's like the one night stand approach. It's like, yeah, it was good that first night, which was the sale. Then you wake up the next morning going, ooh, I don't think I should have done that last night. But that's part of you gotta share who you are. And we don't attract what we want, but we always attract who we are, which is why me and Mark are always pushing to grow. And we have a fun little competition with each other about who can grow a little bit faster. I want Mark to do well. I just want to do a little bit better. That's all I'm saying. He feels the same way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 1000%. So if you're listening to this, take advantage of these free trainings. Like I said, links are in the show notes. It's consistency is key. Don't expect to just like blow it out of the water overnight. I mean, if you do, fantastic. But if you're not consistently showing up on social media, make that your goal. We got about little over 3 months left of this year. And, then the golden time of fitness arrives, it's like mid-January. Let's be real. It's not January 1st. It's like January 13th. But, now's the time to start hammering home on some of those things and being consistent and setting your systems up properly so you can really, take advantage of the time of the year and be the solution that you set out to be for people. I mean, don't lose sight of why you got into coaching in the first place. It's to change lives. Right. And you can't change lives if people don't know you exist. Mm-hmm. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm. Mic drop. And with that being said, don't forget to go out there and go get what you're worth, baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn good show.
Damn good.